What's good? What's good? Crater Face, the guy between worlds here. Cooler, cooler, bringing some. Well, I'm really talking about my experience with the demiurge because I was just doing a little research and I was doing research on the demiurge because, well, that's who runs this bitch. Y'all the both is who runs this matrix in this realm. So I'm just doing research today. It had me thinking. I'm like, do I have video out on my experience navigating through the Maya and where I was versus where I am now, just a year later? Cause I started this shit like I broke out of Gnosticism because I was Gnostic at first. Like I believed certain things in the Bible, but I didn't believe in the Bible fully, and I broke out of that during my relationship, but after we broke up, I started looking. Obviously, after pain, people usually start spirituality or they go within. And after that, I finished watching God of War. And I was watching Corey Kenshin play God of War, the new one, Ragnarok. And I'm like, I really started fucking with Freya, the goddess Freya. And since I already fucked with Karma, and I felt like Karma was more of an energetic being that was feminine, I believed in Karma, and I really just believed in Karma for real, and I questioned the Bible. When I was younger, obviously everybody believed that there was a God. This is rosemary right here. I just got a plant. I just got a plant. It should smell amazing. I wanted to burn that bitch, see how it smell. But yeah, I wanted to really get on here and talk about my journey through the Maya and my encounters with Yaldabaoth so far because I didn't encountered him or it in several different ways. I didn't broke out of several different loops and just got past that shit. We doing the video here with Itza. That's the name. Itza. It just got her like 2 days ago. I'm going to get some mint and some corn. I just put up um I just put up some rope around my garden. I just put it down, put some rope around it so if it start growing, it'll catch up on that rope. This is my first time doing some shit like that. It's the first time doing some shit like that. So I don't know what the fuck gonna happen. Shit, this shit smell good. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, how that's gonna go. I'm just learning as I go. I got this is a Luffy hat, straight from One Piece. Straight from One Piece. I'm really an anime nerd. Like I'm really a otaku that take baths. Like I be the anime shit pressure. But right back to it. I just wanted to burn a little something for my ancestors because you already know I'm about to burn something much different from my ancestors. For my ancestors, of course. I wouldn't get this shit up. Next, I'm about to get some mint. Next, I'm going to get some mint. But I got my journal here because around the time I was praying to other deities and shit like that, that's before my power resided within. So I would journal who I was praying to at the time. So check this out. I'm gonna start it off like this. So y'all, for those of you who don't know what the demiurge is basically a vibration that keeps us trapped in the material realm and don't allow us to look into the higher realms. So you ain't gonna have the mastery or the fourth dimension, which is thought. That's what they say. Time, which is thought. But I just look at it like the tetrahedron cube. That's why I look at it like you keep adding those bitches, it's gonna be a mirror. So it's gonna be like a reflection. So um The demiurge is basically, if you want to put it like this, in understandable terms, habits that keeps you on a low vibration, like masturbation, keeps you very low. Watching porn, lusting after anything, chasing after anything, that is Yaldabaoth vibration. That is low vibrational. Whether it could be something as low as stealing, low vibrational. So that made me. I'm sitting up there doing research on Yaldabaoth, and I'm sitting up there like, bro, I wonder. I think it'll be a good topic to make a video on. See what my process was. Excuse me. What my process was with this shit. So I got into a relationship in like 2019. We ended up breaking up in like 2021. No, 2023. We ended up breaking up in 2023 of February. And not February, 2022 of November, somewhere around Thanksgiving. Somewhere around Thanksgiving, but around February we ended up splitting for good. So somewhere between February to March, I started working out. A little bit before that, I started working out, got my mental straight. But I was still Gnostic. I was like, okay, I don't understand what's going on around me too much. Clearly, my pineal gland is calcified as fuck. It was calcified. I wasn't a follower, but I really just didn't want to. I was the type of person to where I couldn't sit by myself without music. So that just shows that I just needed something to keep my mind at ease. But then again, well, that's just an excuse. I had a girl. That's an excuse. So, um, after we broke up, it took me some time to pick up the mirror and actually start working on it because after exercising, I started dealing with the mind. So Stoicism is what I got into. Well, Socrates, Plato. I didn't dive into it because it's not my stuff. For me, if it's really not my stuff, I don't have too much of a connection to it. Greek mythology, I didn't really have a connection with all the gods and goddesses of Greek. Only reason I looked into it and only reason I was able to break out of Gnosticism was because, cause like I said, at first I was Gnostic. After we broke up, somewhere between February, I end up giving my energy to and praying out to Freya, the goddess of wisdom, knowledge. She's the goddess of beauty, fertility, and Skull, the sister of Fortune. Skull, one of the sisters of Fortune. And that's who I would pray to every morning, every day, who I give my energy out to when I want to connect. That's why I connect to. I was a Bluetooth for them, which are just different versions of the demiurge. That's it. It's just different versions of the demiurge. Because I'm like, I don't do none of that looking outside of myself at all now. But then, uh, oh, in doubt, but it was working. I ain't gonna sit up here and be like, oh, all that shit was bullshit. Nah, bro. It felt like that shit was working. When I asked, I got. But when I learned that there's things out there connecting and draining the shit out of me, I respectfully went back to school and Freya and told them, hey, I don't want to, leave y'all hanging like this, especially considering that I do rituals for y'all. I not no blood, not no blood shit. Of course not. Just giving out my energy towards Freya and Skull. I don't want to leave y'all hanging, especially after y'all done helped me out so much, and after everything I done did for y'all and vice versa. I feel like we got some more locking in to do. I came in and told them what it was, told them how I feel, and I'm like, I feel like they understand and understood considering how easy it was for me to get past them without constantly thinking about them. Because when I first felt like I betrayed them, that's what I felt like I did when I turned my back on them. I feel like I portrayed them, and I would constantly think about them. But after I turned around, went back to them, talked to that energy, I was able to smooth selling. So my karma with them was broken. My karma with them was broken. And well, I'm about to read a little bit of this. So I give y'all time periods of what I was thinking and when I was thinking, just to let y'all know that this shit is really a journey, and there is no set time. Cause I'm only 20. At this time, I was 19. I'm about to be 21 next month. It's the 23rd. No, it's the 22nd. In a month, I'm gonna be 21, bro. Ain't no too late. Ain't no too early. Apparently, this shit is in my blood. If I'm catching on to this flow this young on 20. So April 30th, 2023. Okay. Okay, I could tell what I worship by how I ended off. This is what it says. I thank Freya, goddess of wisdom, and Skuld, sister of fate. So that is from April 30th, 2023, when I journaled all the way in April 30th, 2023. So we have, so I stopped like after I learned that, I stopped journaling for a while. So from April, May, June, July, August. From April to August 14th. Because after that, I'm I'm talking about I went down a rabbit hole of power. I believe at that time I found Billy Carson. And he was telling me about the Anunnaki right after I just found, to like, I'm gonna tell y'all how my mindset was working and how I got my information too. Right after I found Graham Hancock, he was talking about old civilizations and shit. That shit was just so fucking interesting to me. Old civilizations that broke my paradigm of time. I didn't think that this bitch was 6,000 years old. And then he told me about um Gobekli Tepe. Then I ended up learning about I forgot, it's Gobekli Tepe and another Tepe right around the corner from it. They got Mohenjo-Daro. They have Sure, Inky Eridu. They have all these places that I started looking into, from Graham Hancock, Billy Carson, and Matthew LaCroix. But here's how it started. April 30th, I was exercising, and at that time, I wasn't watching no religious shit. I was watching Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, the podcast. Everybody know who Joe Rogan is. I was just watching a bunch of podcasts by him, and I love how he have different people on his podcast. And they'll talk about different shit. I loved it. So it made me want to be able to talk about plenty things, like so many different things, to the point where I could talk to anything about. I mean, talk to anyone about anything. I wanted to be like that and be able to do that like Joe did. So from Joe Rogan, I found Graham Hancock, and Graham Hancock was talking about, well, if you look to his work, lost civilizations, and how we're trying to get back to a time of remembrance, pretty much. And I'm like, bro, this shit is this shit is hella interesting, bro. And then from Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock, I ended up finding somebody named Aubrey Marcus. And Aubrey Marcus, he made me take on magic. He made me take on alchemy. And from taking on alchemy from Aubrey Marcus, um, shit, I can't remember what he taught me, but he taught me. He basically opened up my brain spiritually, because Joe Rogan is more physical. Like, he talk about more physical things over spiritual things. Aubrey Marcus talk about more spiritual things, just more open minded things. And well, I hopped on Aubrey Marcus podcast for a while. Then after that, I ended up finding The Alchemist. Um, Then I started hopping on her wave for a while. Then Arcades Can't See. I ain't really hit up Rashad Jamal. Arcades Can't See. I looked into Billy Carson a lot and stuff that he was looking into with the Anunnaki and stuff like that. And from there, I'm still getting this information in. I'm still learning this shit. I don't know everything. I obviously don't know everything. But after looking into them, I'm like, man, it's either I'm gonna keep looking into these people or I'm going to walk my own path. So I decided to put down everybody content for a while and start going within, see what's my thoughts, seeing what's not my thoughts, see what am I going to do with the information that I already do have before I go on and go pick up somebody else's information. Just start using that because right now I'm not really looking into nobody. I look into Bobby. Excuse me. I look into Bobby Hemmett a little bit. I look into Bobby Hemmett a little bit. That's because I'm learning how to do rituals. But on August 14, 2023, and I like to put my time at 2:46 a.m. It's been many months since I've last journaled. I've been thinking about it for a while now. Okay, I ain't want to sit up there and read my whole shit. I'm thinking about it for a while now. And at that time, I'm basically talking about what I was doing at that time. And at that time, I journal, and at the bottom I draw the constellation that is currently in the sky at that time. So on August 14, 2:46 a.m., Murphag pursues Epsilon Persei and the Pleiades right next to Capella. All that was in the sky. I drew it right here. August 15th, 10:27 a.m. Lyra was in the skies and Hercules was in the sky. I was basically stargazing. I stopped looking without. I started looking out, and I started looking for my own power, and I just started looking up, looking more into the sun, looking more into the moon, looking more into the stars, looking more into the planets. Right now, this current me, I'm learning the periodic table. That's what I'm learning right now. I ain't learning nobody pantheon. I ain't learning what no gods can and cannot do, what they do. When I was into it, I was into it. I'm talking about in Lil and Inky, I was more of an Inky person because I like knowledge. I wanted to know what them niggas like. I wanted to know what them niggas was doing to control our reality because obviously they was calling the shot. They was our head honcho. So what was they doing to be so powerful over us? That's what I was trying to figure out. So I was studying their habits. So I know what meditations them niggas was using. I know how they'll go about their meditations. I just knew basically how to be a god and how to live like a god that controlled us at the point in time. But then I put down that book, started looking up for myself. And eventually, like I said, I'm gonna put a little water down and I'll be able to look down on up. I just put down that garden, so this shit is really just process. Trust the process. Keep going. Even if you can't make process one day, you still got the next. And if you don't got the next, if you don't got the next, you're gonna be back at this bitch to finish it. So just keep going, bro. Keep going till you break your karma. And then, okay, so this is August 15, 2023. At this time, I put at the end, I am working towards the path I see fit. The power is loading. It's not there, it's loading. Yes, in August, I was really getting a lot of power in, getting a lot of my power in. I'm taking my time with this. Let's just read this shit a little bit. Yes. Argues on up. Argues on up. All of that energy came right back to me. Right back to me. Oh, and one of my teachers, I forgot, Infudisi Jehudimus. Infudisi Jehudimus put me on the African content. Then I found out I was from America. Now I'm on my own content. But shout out to him because he really opened up my mind a lot. He taught me about a lot. He put me on to Cheek Up Diop. So it's Cheek Diop. I don't know the middle. Yes. On up, on up. Yes, on up, on up. From there on up, I really just be giving myself a power, give myself the power, because back then we used to pray. Yeah, we used to pray to the woman and have thrones and shit for the womb that was really being taken care of more than the gods. But we got to remember at the end of the day that those guys are still us. It's still us. So just because I'm not doing no whole ass ritual with tea, cake, water, towels, chants, incense for another guide or for a guide, and instead I do it for myself, don't mean I ain't get no benefits out of it. At the end of the day, back then, our vibration, we were sending that shit pretty much to the king. We was pretty much sending that shit to the king. We was basically sending that shit to ourselves, bro. So all that nigga sitting on it, nah, none of that shit. We just knew what it was, and we knew how we was moving. But that's more my story and my journey. So I'm gonna name this Kraters Journey Through the Maya. So we started off as agnostic, only believing certain things in the Bible. And I know I said I was gonna spark up, but I really just be talking. Like, I'm not trying to sit up here and talk with the wand. I'm not trying to use this bitch as a wand, pretty much. This bitch not a wand. Like, I'm using a crackhead lighter. Come on, not big. But I went from being agnostic, believing in certain shit. So around 16, I started questioning the Bible for real, because nigga told me that God, Jesus was the same person. He was like, oh, God came down in the flesh as Jesus. And I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. You're not making no sense, bro. That shit sounds stupid. That's what I was thinking, bro. I'm like, man, this nigga is either they the same person or they not. You can't tell me y'all finna sit up here and argue about whether or not God is Jesus. I mean, yeah, God is Jesus and came down in the body. Man, that shit sound crazy to begin with. I couldn't even believe that shit myself. And I grew up watching the little Christian movies of watching a white man carry the cross. Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. So by 16, 17, I end up adopting 21 amendments. And like I said, this is my story, bro. So we all know about the 10 commandments. Well, Satan has 11 commandments, and they are just as good as the 10 commandments. And at 16, I was questioning this shit, and I wanted to be disobedient. Not disobedient. I wanted to be rebellious. Gain my own sense of knowledge. That's why I moved out at 16. So, and I can honestly say I am glad I did, because I know how to handle myself and fend for myself and think for myself. And just because, only reason I'm back here is because me and my ex broke up, and I'd rather build an empire from a good slate. Because at that time I would have had a house with no car. Now I got a car and I can't get a house. So I made my choices. But at that time, I'm like, man, this nigga Satan got some this nigga Satan, the devil got some commandments too, and they not bad at all. don't, and I still follow this one. And I do this one is subconscious. That bitch say one of his commandments is don't push your problems onto other people. So don't just go up to a motherfucker and get to venting and pushing your problems on them. Don't do that. Don't rape, none of that. Don't, man, I don't think it's don't rape, but it's like, it's basically not bad shit at all, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck y'all bashing on this nigga for? I understand what he did, but at the same time, at that time I didn't really understand as much. Cause I don't look at motherfuckers as evil, because at the point in time this nigga used to be an angel. So if you used to be an angel, you got some type of good duality, bro. Duality. And it don't make it no better that I was a Gemini. So I was automatically able to be on both sides and be like, alright, they got something going on here. But that was me at 16, not knowing shit, still in school, but just get down to the real world, handling shit. Just finally having my first conversation about religion for real. And YouTube, this is paper. And have my first conversation about religion and shit like that. But now that's all I know, bro. That's all I know. And then some. But yeah, I picked up 21 commandments. I'm like, man, this shit not bad. But then after that, I'm like, I have no choice but to, at this point, be agnostic. I started telling niggas, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I believe in. Do I think a nigga sitting on the clouds? No, because when the fucking sky is clear, I don't see no nigga sitting up there in the sky. Where the fuck the clouds at? This nigga sitting on clouds and fucking. If this nigga sitting on clouds and the sky is clear, where this nigga at? So I just be thinking like that and shit like that. And to be honest, like a month ago, I saw clouds come out of thin fucking air, nigga. Me and my bro was talking. We saw chemtrails, and then I looked up. And I was like, man. Actually, it went more like this. I'm like, man, the sky is oddly clear today. I look up. All you see is. Then I look over, like right over my head, and I'm talking about from evaporations and rainbow like mist, clouds. And I'm like, bro, you see that? It's like, I don't know what the fuck, like oil on the ground, got clouds and shit coming from that bit. This shit ain't good. Like that shit is not normal. Yeah, but yeah, reality's crazy. But after that, I'm sitting up here like, man, I don't know what the fuck I believe in, mostly because of that. And that resulted in me just like not praying no more. I just wasn't praying no more. My mama asked me, like, she'll get into a situation and she'll want me to pray for her. But I wouldn't pray to God. I just fast for her. I would fast. And I would just think about her situation for her. That's it, bro. So I was really using my own power, bro. And I told her like a month or two ago when she had brought it up, because she thought I was powerful when I was young. But I also was like, I was questioning shit when I was young. I didn't say shit, but I was questioning things when I was young. So the power that you think I had with your God is not true. It's not true. So I got out of that when I was like 16, 17, G. But I finally took that boat off my back, let the fucking rope go, because I don't know why I'm on land dragging a boat, which is the book. The Bible is like being on land. Like our elder, I forgot his name, Cabane. Yeah, our elder Cabane said, you on land, you carrying a boat up on that bitch. It's like having a Bible or a religion behind you. I let that shit go. Got to spirituality, because I'm not a part of the conscious community or the spiritual community. I'm not a part of none of that shit. And I just started feeling like I was able to optimize my own life, bro. I'm like, alright, I gotta start putting shit in my own hands and making sure that I handle my business, because nobody else gonna handle my business for me. And Ain't nobody else gonna handle business for me. So that mentality helped me start whipping my own truck. Even though I was sharing it with my girl, but had me whipping my own shit like 16, 17. I had my shit for sure, and I ended up having my own place to live by like 18. So I didn't fall from that shit at all. I did not fall from that shit at all. That shit helped me more than I could ever imagine. I could ever be thankful for. But I'm more thankful for being able to grasp my own path and having the courage to get the fuck up and actually not listen to people who, they raised me. They did raise me. They put clothes on my back and food in my mouth. But once I was able to take the will for myself, I did. They have 40-year-olds that still can't do that to this day. Am I blaming them? Man, they just didn't catch on. They just didn't catch on the wave, bro. They just didn't catch on the wave, bro. So this bit is 30 minutes. At like 33, I'm gonna cut it out. I hope y'all drunk some water. As y'all can see, I'm with Ita, and we gonna keep it coolin' with this garden. Rosemary, and well, take care of yourself. Drink water. Do yoga and meditate, of course, bro. I've been meditating every day for half an hour, and man, that shit is amazing. That shit is amazing. If I could do it, you for sure can do it. You just gotta want it. Get up, go try to do it so you could gain some experience for when you actually execute it, you'll be able to execute it. I'm sure that I didn't explain everything, so I might end up doing a part 2, but like I said, I didn't want this video to get too long. I got over a lot of stuff, and I'm happy with where I got, because this video was just an idea. If I wanted to sit on my ass, I could have. But take care of yourself. Creative face. The gap between worlds out, and don't forget, this shit is a journey, bro. Like I said, I went from being a Christian, so following the Bible or trying to follow the Bible, to agnostic, questioning the Bible, to watching God of War, and then following Freya, so Greece, to being free of it all and giving myself my own power back, because we are the gods that they worship. Like Odin, that's Quetzalcoatl, that's Enki, sun, pretty much. Or Enki, depends on how deep you really want to get. But that's Zil Sutra. So I'm like, bro, nigga Z